Hello, Senator. Thank you so much for joining our crypto and blockchain class. I am Yusuf Bonaparte, and our guest speaker for this week is State Senator Chris Hansen of Colorado. Senator, please can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, great to see you, Yusuf. Thanks for inviting me. State Senator Chris Hansen. I represent Central and East Denver, so basically from the downtown area where your classes are, from Larimer Square over to Lowry, essentially, is my district. It's about 25%, a quarter of Denver is in my Senate district, and work on a lot of tax, budget, policy issues, a lot of clean energy, clean tech issues at the Capitol, and really pleased to be with you today for this conversation.
Thank you, Senator. I appreciate your time. The first question, I know that you have a couple legislation in that state, a lot of state floor. Can you tell us about your legislation and why, the motivation, what the motivation?
Yeah, so and when it comes to blockchain in particular, I had a bill last year, Senate Bill 25, that focused on exploring how we can use blockchain for state debt offerings. And so right now the state has different bonding mechanisms. They also use a mechanism called the COPs, or certificates of participation. And those are kind of the old school, tried and true methods of public finance. But they often come with two big problems. One, higher transaction costs, because you have to pay underwriters to go and develop these offerings and get them out on the market and get them placed with different investment banks and pension funds, et cetera. And the other problem they have is that they typically have minimum investment quantities. So at least $5,000, $10,000, $25,000 is the smallest amount you can buy, and that means for the typical retail investor, they can't participate in these debt offerings. And so what I was looking at is how could we use blockchain to create secure tokens for this debt, put that out on the market, allow people to buy in whatever increment that they want, and reduce transaction costs over time as that technology and those offerings mature. And I think it offers the way for the state to save money on the transaction, as well as when you have more people participating in the debt offering, that typically puts downward pressure on interest rates. When you don't have the high interest rates, because you have fewer and fewer investors, or you have very high thresholds for people to invest. So that was really the idea behind the bill. We're in the middle of that study right now, and looking at how we can bring that to the state and use blockchain.
Excellent. So do you think that this bill, if it passes, will save some money for the state, and how much, or will help us some liquidity?
Well, yeah, I mean, the bill did pass. It is signed into law. Yeah, so we're in the middle of this research and this exploration right now. We're talking to major advisory firms about how we could implement this and what the costs and benefits would be. Certainly, that was the idea going into it, that there would be material cost savings for the taxpayers. And I really, we don't know until we actually implement this, but I think that is what we're trying to get a good understanding of before we launch such an effort at the state level. And so right now it's sort of the due diligence phase of can you apply the promise of blockchain, the potential of blockchain to this particular issue at the state level.
Excellent. I have another question about FTX. It's in the news, the collapse of this exchange. Do you think if you execute your bill already passed, and if we already have a token debt, do you think that will hurt us, or has nothing to do with us?
Well, I mean, I suppose the collapse of FTX and the struggles some of the other exchanges have had, I mean, it does have some knock-on effect into sort of overall consumer confidence in cryptocurrency for sure, and maybe blockchain more generally. Now, to be clear, my idea is not cryptocurrency. It is using secure token technology and blockchain to create financial instruments. So it's, I suppose, similar, because you're creating a financial tool, but not a currency. It's a debt offering. But yeah, I mean, Joseph, I guess that when I read about FTX and the sort of no oversights, no real controls, poor accounting practices, et cetera, right? That's coming to the news every day. I think it does undermine the public's confidence in crypto, certainly, but probably blockchain and financial instruments that use blockchain more generally. So, that's worrisome, and I think this is something that the feds are looking at right now. Different European regulatory agencies, like how do we make sure that these tools work for consumers, and that there is a consumer protection angle, I think, to this story, and that is something that the state does have a significant role in. So I think we'll see a lot of additional scrutiny, a lot of additional concern about how to protect customers and consumers, and that's appropriate, especially as this industry and these efforts mature. We need to make sure consumers can be protected and confident in the products.
I totally agree with you. Very sympathetic that finance is built on trust. And if somebody portray the trust, then we need regulation to make sure that these people are not bad apple, not to be in the system. And whenever there is one bad apple, to take it out from the system. So I totally agree with you. A regulation will help. And part of the class will have about examining the regulation impact in crypto. Senator, you are a state senator, so you know the state of Colorado. Can you tell us about the economics of crypto? What are companies? What are the direction? How do you feel this size of the economy? Crypto economy?
Yeah, I mean, Colorado is a tech hub. Let's just start with that.
Tech hub,
lots of amazing tech companies here. And I have no doubt that Colorado is going to be making big waves in blockchain use of blockchain technology. But on the crypto side, there's kind of the mining of crypto, right, which often can be very energy intensive. There are some interesting Colorado companies that are using flared gas or trying to capture gas that would otherwise be flared, turn that into electricity using a microturbine, and then use that electricity to mine crypto. That's a business model that I know is here in Colorado and in other parts of the middle of the country. Does that have long-term viability? I'm not sure, but especially as we get new tokens and new crypto options that are lower energy intensity than Bitcoin, for example. That market is going to change, I think, pretty rapidly over the next few years. But so there are some companies like that. I think what I'm more excited about, though, is just the use of blockchain. I mean, I described, this debt instrument idea, but the use of blockchain, I think, is going to expand very rapidly. I mean, trading electricity products, trading other commodities, using blockchain in the agriculture sector. I did another bill in the legislature to prepare the use of blockchain in agriculture, where you could track, individual crates of Pueblo chilies and use blockchain to help lower transaction costs and increase trust and verifiability. So huge number of applications for blockchain secure tokens, that go way beyond just cryptocurrency. So that's where I think, Colorado is going to have a big chance to excel. On the crypto side, electricity prices in Colorado are kind of middle of the pack. We're not super low, we're not super high. So we're not sort of the natural place for people to go if they're trying to set up a mining operation, a crypto mining operation. Wyoming, has attracted more of that activity. But all of that is to say that I think we're just sort of at the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the application of the underlying blockchain technology that enables crypto. It can be used in basically every industry. And I know there are lots of great Colorado tech companies that will be a part of that revolution.
Excellent, excellent. Senator, you're very active in renewable energy and saving energy costs and lowering the cost for the household. And I worked with you for many years, and I know how hard you work. How this revolution that you're making in the energy sector will impact the crypto mining at least?
Yeah, no, it's a really great question. I think we don't know the answer at this point. I am familiar with different markets that are using crypto and blockchain to try to streamline transactions between customers. I think we'll well, one of the things happening in Netherlands right now is that individuals with solar panels on their home can sell that power to their neighbors directly, a peer-to-peer transaction, and they're using blockchain to do that, and in some cases using crypto as the medium of exchange for those transactions. So I think the new tech revolution that's happening in energy is going to be supported by blockchain technology as those applications mature. So I think but that's going to be the case in many industries as we're discussing, right, where this underlying technology gets wide application for new companies, new business processes, new ways to do transactions. And the energy sector, will be front and center of that, because there are billions of transactions happening every day in the energy sector. And what better way to make those more secure? What better way to make those more verifiable than to use secure token and blockchain technology? So I think you will see a huge expansion in that area.
I like the idea that you say there is a new technology, blockchain, peer-to-peer. Web3, for example, will be on one application, one sector of the blockchain, and the crypto using the blockchain. But the blockchain itself is the revolution, and then it can help Colorado for easy transaction or easy to mobile information. I really like it. Now I'm gonna ask you, at the city level, if you were a mayor of Denver, we saw that the mayor of Miami, he raised some money using the blockchain technology and tokens. If you were a mayor, how could you do that? And is it good for Denver or only good for Miami, not for us?
No, I mean, I think there are lots of possibilities there, and you're absolutely right. Miami's mayor has really pushed this as a priority in his work, and I think there's a big opportunity for Denver as well. So I mean, as you said, I'm in the middle of my campaign for Denver mayor right now. I am working hard to reach out to all the different parts of the city, and of course the tech sector and innovation economy here is.
Good luck, Senator. Good luck, you're wrong.
Yeah, thank you. And obviously, if I'm elected mayor, I want to do everything I can to support the innovation economy here. And one piece of that, of course, is going to be blockchain and all the technology that enables in across many different industries. And so, the one of the things Miami has done is municipal bonds. So very similar to what I just described on the state level. Denver, I think, would be in a good position to explore that and see if we can make similar types of offerings to, again, just save the taxpayers money. I mean, if you lower transaction costs, you lower interest rates, all of that savings accrues back to the ratepayer and to the taxpayer. And we can then use that additional savings for other important priorities like fixing parks and roads and all other parts of the city. So yeah, great opportunity there. And that's something that I would immediately want to explore for Denver if I'm elected.
So can we call you will be the first mayor to push hard for blockchain technology if you become to be elected?
Yeah, I mean, I think that would be safe to say. I mean, Denver is not, to my knowledge, using it in any significant way. I think there's a lot of city processes that could potentially benefit from using different types of blockchain software and application. And so, yeah, I mean, we need to immediately innovate, of course, in the great tech companies, but we also need to innovate inside the city hall. And I'm an engineer by background. I've done a lot of big data.
You are engineer, okay?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
And so yeah, that is a very comfortable spot for me, and it's something I would want to really bring that focus and that lens to city government.
Excellent, that's great to know. Senator, we are a university, and we suppose in theory, university is the key function in any economy, because between the ideas and executing the ideas, you need a talent, and we're supposed to be the pipe that represent talent. If you become to be a mayor and as a current role of a senator, how do you think universities can better serve the ecosystem in Colorado in the crypto and blockchain technology?
Well, yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. I mean, as you said, with your kind of broad statement about what's the role of universities. I mean, they have many roles, but of course, one of them is to support creating great talent that's going to lead to economic growth.
Yes.
And so, having UC Denver and the business school where you work and where I also teach some classes. That is such an anchor, a foundational element to helping Denver and Colorado to succeed. And public universities and the business school at UC Denver has this huge role to play in creating talent and doing research to feed the new companies that want to grow in Denver. That is such an important role that UC Denver Business School plays, and I see that role only getting bigger over time and becoming more important as our knowledge economy expands, as the role of the university to feed and to nurture that knowledge economy is just so critical. And UC Denver is so good at it. I mean, right in the heart of the city, great relationships with private companies all over Colorado and in Denver, and ultimately producing very high quality graduates to go and fill those jobs of the future. So I just see this as sort of the linchpin for how Denver succeeds. We need a great university, and UC Denver is, of course, part of that constellation.
Thank you, Senator. So this spring 2023, we're gonna launch our first blockchain technology and crypto class, and then the enrollment is explosive for elective class. I noticed that the majority of the students were girls, actually, girls more than boys, and that's fascinating that girls like technology more than boys. Any thought on that?
Well, yeah, I mean, I will say when I was in engineering school, and I won't tell you what year that was, it was 8 men to 2 women at that point. And now most engineering schools around the country are getting close to 50-50.
Wow.
So, just from the undergrad degrees, you have a lot more young ladies going into STEM fields, which is great. I mean, there was just such a stupid, silly bias against that when I was growing up and before, and I think that is melting away very rapidly. And so, no surprise, I mean, that you're seeing in your classes folks who have more STEM background and more math and science that helps prepare them to take on these technology topics.
Excellent. If you as a senator currently, and good luck if you become to be a mayor, how do you see how could you support women in business?
Well, there's a number of ways. I think the one of the things that the mayor is really responsible for is a lot of business development for Denver, attracting new companies, helping to recruit, helping to make sure we have the infrastructure, the safety, the housing, all the things that make a city work. The mayor needs to have that in place, and then go out and really sell the city to new companies and to new entrepreneurs. And I would be, really want to do that in a way that helps us attract the very best entrepreneurs and the very best women entrepreneurs, and so they can come here and grow companies and be successful. And I see that as a really important part of being mayor. And of course, we do that at the state level too, where the state legislature supports the Office of Economic Development and International Trade, and we're constantly doing outreach to new companies, to women entrepreneurs, to women CEOs, to women who serve on corporate boards. Right, all of that is part of this work, and there are programs specifically designed to help support women entrepreneurs, and I would certainly want to double down on those, because we just have a huge amount of great talent in Denver. And being able to support that in every way we can is exactly, I think, the role of the state and local governments.
Yeah, I think we wrap all the questions for this blockchain and crypto class. And
all right,
I'm so happy that you join us. Any final thoughts you want to add? Or
well, yeah, just a huge thank you, Yosef, for inviting me. I mean, I love this work. I love sharing ideas with you and getting feedback on ideas about legislative options for Colorado. And I'm just thrilled that you've got such great enrollment in these classes, because blockchain, secure token, and crypto, it's there's so many opportunities in front of us, and getting students ready to capture those opportunities is great work. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Senator, and good luck with your mayor run and everything in your career. We appreciate to have talented people like you who are aware of the new technology and will support women, minorities, and new technology. Thank you so much, Mayor. Senator.
Thanks. Thanks, Joseph.
Bye. Thank you. Bye-bye.